So I have a problem. Whenever I'm soldering, I have to get this big fan out. But recently, I got this 3D printer enclosure which has exhaust in it. So my plan is to make a two-way exhaust which I can switch between 3D printing and soldering. So first, I started by removing all the stuff that was on top of my exhaust pipe, and then I started to disassemble my 3D printing exhaust. In the process of doing so, I accidentally broke the switch of my 3D printing exhaust and I had to use my scraper to scrape away the excess. Right after that, I quickly reassembled my switch. Then I started to pull up the cord and it got stuck, so I quickly unjammed it and continued pulling up the cord. Now I started to reassemble the exhaust, except I took out the fan. Now I started to design. Designing was a bit challenging because wasn't sure if it was going to work or if I would be able to connect the parts properly. Some of the recording got corrupted, so I wasn't able to show you the full design, but this is how it looks right now. Now it's time to 3D print. I 3D printed all my parts on my Bamboo Lab A1 combo, and after that, I removed all the supports for all my 3D prints. That hole is actually supposed to be on the other side, so I'm gonna fix that by making a hole using a soldering iron. The hole may not look very neat because it was pretty hard to make like a good circle with a soldering iron and it melted a lot of the plastic to the side so it looks really bad. I also attached the gray ring to the main body to with the soldering iron. And the ring, it's not supposed to go there. I actually put the wrong part there. So I'm just gonna attach this part using super glue. And now I'm going to assemble the rest of the components together with super glue. And the extension for the soldering part, the door wasn't able to fit, so I designed one with a bigger gap in the middle and 3D printed it. And as I figured, the super glue isn't gonna be strong enough, so I glued the rest of the components with PVC pipe cement. Then I cut my PVC pipe to length with a pipe cutter. Then I secured it tightly with the pipe cement. Then I used PVC pipe cement to secure the elbow joints. Then I repeated these steps again. It wasn't fitting, so I decided to sand it down. Now it finally fit and the build is almost over. And also, one of the plates to close one of the doors for the exhaust wasn't fitting, so I sanded that down too. And it fit. I also cut some of this tape with this silicone thing on one of the sides to make the door to close the soldering pipe more airtight. Now it is time to glue on the last piece, the fume hood. And now it is finally time to install the new two-way exhaust. First, I removed the old one-way exhaust and removed the sliding door. Then I installed the new two-way exhaust. I on the fan to make sure it still worked, and it did. Now it is time to finally test it. And it looks like the two-way exhaust works. But the sticky note doesn't stick that well because of the weird shape of the fume hood. Next, I'm going to test it if the smoke from incense gets sucked in. First, I'll start by on the exhaust and lighting the incense. Now let's see if the smoke from the incense gets sucked in. Looks like it works pretty well. That's all for today. See you in the next one.